All right, what's going on, guys? So I have a message for you guys. I think it's very timely for a lot of people. It is December 2nd of 2024, and a lot of people that I encounter in business, for those of you guys that don't know, I run a 7-figure life insurance agency where I deal with people all the time that want to be successful. And these are people that don't just want a job or a new 9 to 5, but they want these crazy high levels of success because they see what's possible every day around them. Here's the crazy part though. Even in seeing the potential, in seeing people making this happen, a lot of people still struggle with two things. Number one is gonna be the mindset to keep going when things get hard. In business, I don't care what business you're in. If you wanna be an entrepreneur, times are going to get hard and you have to anchor yourself in on why you started. Because you're not gonna always feel motivated. You're not even gonna always have this discipline, and you still have to keep going. You're gonna have to remember the reason why you got started is so much greater than the small problem that you're currently in. Because when you're in problems or when you're in situations or challenges as an entrepreneur, it feels like the challenge is bigger than the world. And it feels like that you're gonna always be in that position forever, and that's just the way that life or business is gonna be. The person that can dissociate, take on a new perspective, and change what they're currently going through based on their thoughts, their beliefs, and their actions is gonna be the person that will get very far. The second thing is that people overestimate their work ethic. I work with so many different people who tell me I'm gonna be the hardest worker. I'm gonna be the first one in the office, the last one out of the office. Or those that work from home, I'm gonna make more dials. I'm gonna be able to create this huge business, and I see the complete opposite. And there's really no difference between the person that succeeds versus the person that fails on a skill set level. What there is a huge difference from those of you guys that are in the insurance industry, it's gonna be in your work ethic and your willingness to create opportunities out of problems. I wanna go deeper on that. Work ethic, we all know what that is. You have to work, you have to make the dials, you have to be in positions to talk to people about your craft. But here's the thing, when it comes to creating opportunities, let's say that you come from the military and you're starting business here. Are you calling your old military buddies to try to promote your product and service? If you came from a real estate background, are you letting all of those connections know what you do so they can refer business to you? Are you working utilizing leads? If someone you know that owns a marketing agency, are you having them help funnel traffic over to you? Are you leveraging referrals, word of mouth? There's so many different ways to go out there and do it. Or are you running your own Facebook leads so you don't have to wait and rely on anyone else to send you business? There's so many different ways to build your insurance agency, but I need you to know this. If you're someone who's waiting to be told what to do, I don't care what company you're working for, you are always gonna struggle. Your upline, your mentor, they could be amazing, they could have your best interest in mind, but they cannot always be thinking to call you when you need something. They're busy. More often than not, they're working with multiple people at the same time. You have to be the one to utilize and leverage them as a mentor and as a resource to help you get really, really good. Number two, are you coachable? Do you have what it takes to actually succeed? Or do you just want to be told what it is that you want to hear? Because I work with a lot of people, and I've worked mostly in the past because these people are no longer on my sales team. They just want to hear things that make them feel good versus wanting to find the real stuff in the root that's going to help them grow. There's two ways to think about this. Number one, do you want to be right? Or number two, do you want to get better? The person that wants to get better is always going to be more receptive to feedback than the person that just wants to feel or wants to be right. Because you're not always gonna be right. In fact, most times in business, you will be wrong when you're starting. I'd rather be with someone who's making 100 wrong decisions in the first month than someone who's making no wrong decisions, because that means they're not trying. Which leads me to point number three, be okay with failure. When you're starting your business, be okay learning and failing. I work here with a Division I athlete, he's a baseball player, and he works with me and he's like, man, my competitive nature, like when I don't get a sale, I get so frustrated. And I said, that's good. Use that frustration to fuel you, but also have a proper expectation. Because if you think you're just gonna close every client you talk to, it's not the case. This is a volume-based game. It's a numbers game, especially if you're doing phone sales in any industry. You gotta talk to a lot of people. You have to work your pipeline. You have to be in a position where you have enough people to actually talk to each day to make sales happen. For example, this morning, it's about 1 o'clock right now, just got back from the gym, but this morning I did my first half of work from 7 a.m. to 12. And I did 3 sales. The average commission we make is roughly a little over $1,000. So you guys can do the math on that before lunchtime. But I have my mindset made up on the fact that I am going to get a sale. I am going to help a family enroll in some coverage. Next point I want to go over with you guys is going to be, are you actually working your business like it's a business, or are you treating it like it's a side hustle? A lot of people get into insurance, and I was talking to one of my guys earlier today. He's in Hawaii. Good friend of mine, and he's like, bro, man, I got to admit, I've been treating this business like it's a side hustle. hustle. I sell a policy, I make $1,000, I go and pay my bills, I got a little bit of money left over, and then I'm good until I gotta do it again. And I said, dude, that's the hamster wheel, that's the rat race that everyone tries to escape from. We all hear about escape from the matrix, escape from the 9 to 5, the hamster wheel, etc. But if you're treating this business the same way you treated your W-2 9 to 5, how can you magically expect anything to be different? Because in fact, you have to treat this business more intensely than that, because you're trying to work and you're trying to get ahead of so many different people. Because for example, let's say you're used to working 40, 50, 60 hours a week and you have no problem with hard work, but you want to get into this industry for the freedom. Understand this, and I'm going to keep it just very transparent with you. The freedom, absolutely, it can come. It doesn't mean you start right away and you have this freedom. You're not going to have a business after. Let's say, for example, that you want to make more money. When you're starting, you might not make more money right away. You need to come level up your skill set, focus on learning, and then the L drops off and then the earning starts to come. But if you're focused right away on how much money you make your first week, your second week, your first month, dude, that's a hard metric to judge. For me personally, my background before this industry, I was doing sales for over a decade. I led 7 and 8 figure sales organizations. I had my own business teaching high ticket sales consulting. And even with that, I struggled because it was a new product, it was a new application, it was a new demographic, every single thing was new. So I talk to a lot of people and I tell them, when you're in this position of starting, be okay failing. And in fact, the best way to train you is by listening to your call where you quote unquote failed and said, hey, you said this, say this instead. The client said this and you didn't overcome their real root of the objection. Or they said this could have been leveraged to help you close that deal and you didn't. So many different things, a million equations can happen, but the best way we can train you is from your quote unquote failure. So be okay failing. Last point is, don't always think that the grass is greener on the other side, because there's gonna be times where you struggle. I talk to a lot of agents that come to my company from a different company, and a lot of stuff they tell me is very normal things in the industry, such as, yeah, you know what, I had to figure things out on my own and I didn't really know what to do. And I said, okay, well, yeah, you should have leadership, you should have mentorship, but my question always defaults back to you. Well, what did you do in those moments? Did you just wait for a phone call and sit back, or did you get proactive and did you get resourceful and try to figure it out? Because I tell people all the time, if you can become proactive, if you can get resourceful, if you can take initiative, you're gonna go very far. I'm gonna always be there for you. I'm gonna ride for you till the very end. With the people that I bring on my team, I truly partner with them to help them close the deal if needed on the phone, train them whenever they want, always be there, accessible for them, but it's a two-way street. You have to put in that same effort and energy for your business, because I'm not gonna care about your business more than you will. I can't. I have too many people to do that. You have to be the one that cares more about it than anyone. So be okay getting resourceful, be okay being in a position where you might not know everything, and still are you willing to take action. If you can do all of those things, man, you can go very, very far in this industry. If you're currently a licensed insurance agent and you're working with a company that maybe doesn't have the best lead source, they don't have proper training, or maybe you feel like the person you're with is just not giving you the skill set, the resources, and the knowledge tangibly to be able to take action, message me. Working with me, I'll be honest, it's not for everyone. For a lot of people, it kind of forces them right out, because there's that Proverbs 27:17, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. But that sharpening process does not always feel good. Working with me, you will get sharpened. You will develop spiritually, physically, financially, mentally, emotionally, and hopefully financially. Notice how the last one is what most people are looking for. We put that last, we focus on the first 5. When you focus on that in your life, the finances usually always follow, because money is just a byproduct of good service. Money is a byproduct of the output of value that you put into the world and into the marketplace. It'll always pay you an equal or greater monetary and compensatory returns, but you have to be willing to put the outcome, or put the output in to get the income back out. It's the only way it works. So if you're a licensed insurance agent and you want a new opportunity, message me. If you do any kind of sales, or if you don't, but you're like, hey dude, what you do sounds pretty cool, I want to get licensed and I want to become a sales agent and work directly with you. You can do it from anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter where you're at. I can help you get licensed and I can teach you everything you need to know about insurance sales. So if that's you, reach out to me. I'd love to work with you more. There should be my email in the bio. Hit me up there, or on Instagram, codyg.nlp. See you guys soon. Bye.